Hello, all you airsoft fanatics and firearms enthusiasts. Today we're just gonna talk about. Oh, sorry, I'm still trying to get used to this intro. But I am Isaiah, the co-founder and owner of Honorary Forge Supply. Link in the description to our website, where sometimes we make offers or deals to say. Every now and then we'll make deals for Black Friday, or it could be Christmas, or it could be Valentine's, whatever. We'll make deals of either 10%, 20%, or 25%, or even 30% of offers that could be pistols, it could be rifles, shotguns, ARs, SMGs, not ARs, rifles, or anything like that. But today we are going to be talking about this channel and what we're expecting from you is at least a comment or a like, or a subscription, whatever. We are doing a website that has some supply of airsoft rifles and pistols and shotguns and SMGs and snipers. At the moment, we do not have parts, even though it says we do parts. There's going to be a video right here that's going to be showing you that what we do have right now. There's a little bit more detail into it. You click on some of the things on there. If you see at the bottom, we're going to have, there's a collection of airsoft rifles, shotguns, and pistols. If you click on those, it'll take you to another page that has all the rifles or all the shotguns or all the pistols we have for right now. In the near future, we are going to have some more, and hopefully we will have the parts as soon as possible. But the parts are mostly going to be HPA systems. We do not have HPA systems at the moment just because, well, we're trying to find... no, actually, we found someone who will help us do the HPA systems, but we do not have the airsoft rifles and pistols for HPA. So at the moment we are trying to figure out how to do the pricing for the HPAs. It could be hoses, it could be the little nozzles, it could be the tanks, anything like that, anything HPA. But right now we're just going to talk about that. In the future, we are going to do more videos. Every week, we're going to be doing videos of the firearms, the airsoft rifles and pistols that we do have and we're going to sell. So right now, I'm getting started on making the next one, because the next one I want to do it on Tuesday. The next video. This coming Tuesday, which is December 7th or 6th, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it was 6th. But we are making one, and in the preview it, not to preview, but to explain what we are going to show, is that it is a pistol. It is a pistol, but it is a pistol we do not have in stock right now, but later in time we will have a stock. We will have some in stock. But to say the least, it is a pistol. I'm not going to say whether it's HPA, it could be green gas, CO2, spring, even though springs are here and there, because I doubt any airsofters would want spring pistols. But, you know, it's good to have, because if you ever want to just try a gun, feel it in your hand before you get the real deal, $150, $160, or even $200 HPA or green gas pistol, it's better to have the makeshift of it. And we're going to do more videos on talking about our website and who we are. Hopefully we could do one where I add in my friend, my other coworker, for the business. But for right now, he is not going to be here in the next 3 videos. Hopefully in the 4th or even the 5th. But I am Isaiah. And today we're just going to be talking about our business and how we started it. So basically, it took place early this year of 2022. I forgot what month, but it was pretty early. Right now we're in November. We're about to be December. What's it called? So when we started playing airsoft in 2021, and we started after high school. But during high school, we were actually wanting to do airsoft. What's it called? We already had the equipment. We had the guns. We had the protection. The only thing is we didn't have enough money to do a couple games. So we had enough to do one game. So we did one game out of the 1 year. And then at the end of 2021, we finally got into another game. And that's when we started talking to even more people. And they said, there's a lot of fun into it. There's you could play with new players, old players, or even veterans. And sometimes you can even see children play, or even people from the military, which is pretty amazing. Just because you get to talk and chat with the people who actually lived the life of real firearms, real steel. So when we started playing airsoft, we enjoyed it. I don't know how my friend enjoyed it in one way, but I enjoyed it just because I had a passion for firearms. Hopefully in the future, I'm going to do another firearms business. I'm still keeping the airsoft business, but I'm going to start a new firearms business, a real steel firearms business. I haven't figured out the name. I haven't figured out all the mechanics and all that, just because I haven't gotten the license, the FFL license, the federal firearms license. And most of the stores, or most of the places that really have the license, sorry, there's a little bug on my finger. To have the license for it, you need a building or a brick and mortar. If you don't know what a brick and mortar is basically a full store that is an outside store that is other than your home-based figure. I don't know how to explain it. So it's the one that you could walk in and purchase and come out. That is a brick and mortar. A home-based is something that you have a store at your house, whether it could be in store or online. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing an home-based online store for airsoft. Now I do have another place to store the airsoft weapons, or replicas. But for now, the what I'm doing right now is home-based. Now I do have my licenses. I have my tax ID. I have my EIN number. I have my business name confirmed at I forgot the name of the county, but in where I live. So you need all that to be covered to put in a business. To be in a business, you need all that. But in the industry I'm in, so there's more to it. But in just a few things you need to know if you were to get into the business of airsoft or even firearms, the real steel. In the airsoft business, get ready, because when you first start, no matter how much money you have, no matter where you started or how much money you have, it is going to be a little hard, just a little bit. Not extremely, because money is one issue, and for me, and the other issue is knowledge. But If you have the money, better hope you have the knowledge. Because right now I have the knowledge, but I don't have the money. So I say that because we are a brand new business. We just started early this year. And if you have the knowledge, it's good to know what to expect and what to figure out is the best move. And when you have the money, it's good to have that too. Just because if you need to, let's say, and this is what I was thinking, but buy an airsoft gun, showcase it, show the ins and outs, and then say that, oh, it's going to be 15% off this Friday. And this is for an example, disclaimer, example. But right now I'm doing that ever so slowly. If you have the money, I'm pretty sure you could be able to do that twice a week or even 3 times a week. So I don't have that much money on me right now. Business is slow, but we have done business. We are planning to do, we are planning to do more videos of what we do. Also, back to what I was saying is that when we started, this idea actually came from my dad. He actually helped me in all this. He has his own business, but he helped me with this, and he was saying, like, obviously you love what you do, try to do something with it. So it actually started this February, I believe, this February, if not January. He was saying, well, if you love what you do, why not try firearms? Why not try to buy, keep, and then sell as a collection? And I thought of it. It was a good idea. The only thing is it depends where the person that I'm selling to lives, and it also depends on licensing for different types of guns and firearms. And is it the A1, which is the first factoried firearm, or was it a copy of it? And my issue was not the copy. I could figure out what's the real one and what's the copy. Sometimes you could tell by just the markings, the letterings, the stamps, all that. My issue was buying it, because at the time I didn't have a job yet. Until a couple months later, I did get a job, but the idea was different. So I did get the idea from my dad, and then I told my friend, which is now my coworker. I was telling him, why don't we just do this? We could get a lot of money off of it. It's basically you get, forget the name, but basically you get a firearm and you keep it, right? So when you buy it, you keep it, and you keep buying another firearm and another firearm and another, but make sure they're in the same era. So my era that I love is World War II and a little bit of Vietnam. In the World War II, my favorite weapon was the MG42, MP40, and the Luger PO8. And as you can tell in the era and what type of weapon they are, not only that they are in World War II, they are also German weapons. The Germans had a lot of weapons that were produced in World War II. A lot of them were denied, but are extremely rare and costly now because of that. Some of them did go into the war for at least 2 years. And some of them have been known because they have been out from the beginning of the war to the end of the war. So there's a lot to it. So when that started, I told my friend, he's like, that's a good idea. So when are we going to start buying them? And I was telling him, well, at the time we didn't have a job yet. So when we thought of it, we kept looking up ideas and names of the business, because again, you needed a business for this to happen. So we thought of a business name, and then he helped me with the business name, my coworker, and I thought of not the idea, but I kept looking into how to sell without having a license. And in Texas, there is one. I can't remember the name, but it is a thing where it allows you to sell a firearm as long as you have a paper that shows it's like a background check, except it's your form of a background check. And as long as someone writes it down and adds in their information, and it looks like that they haven't done any felonies, they haven't gotten any felonies, or they haven't had any charges or arrests or anything like that, then they're good. You could sell it to them. They give you the money. You give them the paperwork saying that's their gun now and their property. And then it's a done deal. But the only downside is that if it's not illegal in Texas, at least I don't think anymore, because I found this out like 8 months ago. But if you sell it without a dealer involved, you could get the fault. But if you sell through a dealer, the dealer takes it to another dealer, and then the dealer takes it to the person who wants the gun from me, then it's no longer my problem, it's the dealer's problem. Or it could be the guy who wanted it. It could be his problem. So there's a lot of faults and there could be a lot of good things and bad things. That's what I meant. So when I was thinking like of doing the firearms industry, I wanted to play a bit of airsoft. And at the time, when I was playing airsoft, I bought another gun, and this one was a good gun. It was amazing, and it's actually one of the guns we have in stock, but I'm not going to show it just because, it's not the right time. Not yet. I mean, it is the right time, but not yet. Y'all can wait. But when I bought the gun, I was thinking like, you know what? There's a lot of airsoft guns that look so real. Why don't we do an airsoft business? So that was a thought. It wasn't an idea yet. It was a thought. So I looked it up. I looked up some businesses in airsoft industry. On YouTube, there's quite a bit, but in my area, there's very little. Very, very little. There are a couple retailers, but companies, like big companies, like KWA, or it could be, what's the other one? 6 Hour, Glock. And I know these are firearm industries, but they also do airsoft. But those kind of companies. Sorry, let me get a bit of water. Alright, so when I thought of doing airsoft, I tried to find websites that do wholesaling, and at the time I didn't have a business. So actually I brought it up to my dad first, and he was saying, you could do wholesaling. I was like, what's that? And he says, well, it's a place that not a place, but it's a type of business that allows you to buy from under retail price and sell it for retail price. So basically it's something like, let's say $100. If you buy one gun for $100 and sell it for $250, you're getting $150 back. You're making $100 back and $150 plus. And usually that's good, but you also got to put in tax. You got to put in cost of shipping and then cost of labor. So that's why you got to bump it up times 2.5 or even times 2. Or every now and then you got to put in times 1.5. But when you do that, your business is not only fast, it's going to be, your profit is very low. So whenever I told my dad, whenever I told my dad about the airsoft wholesaling, and he was telling me that I needed an actual business for that to happen, I was like, man, that's gonna take a while. Because I know for my dad, when he started his business, it took about a year, maybe even longer, because his business industry is a little bit different than mine. Actually, it's a lot different. His has nothing to do with firearms nor airsoft. Mine does, obviously. So when I told him about that, he was saying, well, why not just start a business? It's real simple. It's, it takes like under $300 to just start a business. Also, it depends what type of business, because for him, it took, I think, $250. For me, it actually took less than $250. Don't know how, but it did. So when I started when I got the name, it took a while. It took a couple of days, and I asked my friend for some help for the name, and we had taken, I think, 7 names, and they were all 2 named. There were like, for example, I'm just gonna say like a person's name, like Jacob, I don't know, Jacob Hogan. That's 2 names. Well, we kept thinking of that over and over, so that's why we had 7 names. So we thought of a 3rd name, and one of them, it was Honorary Forged at first, and then it kept being Honorary Forged something, Honorary Forged something, Honorary Forged something. And this is because like I was doing in the before airsoft, I actually wanted to make my own brand of bullets. The same type of bullets that AR-15 shoots. It could be 223 or 5.56, but I was mostly looking at 223s, Remingtons. So when I did it, I thought of Forged, because I wanted to do at first I wanted to do a business of not only firearms, but making ammo. So I needed a type 6 or 7. I want to say 6, because I believe 6 is manufacturing ammo and 7 is manufacturing ammo and making firearms. So at the time I wanted to brand my bullets, and I already had a machine. I had everything to make a bullet happen. So when I started making the bullets, the name happened to be Forged, Honorary Forged, and then the last name, we kept thinking. So I told my dad, he's like, why not put Supply? And I was like, Honorary Forged Supply. That actually works, because we're supplying people bullets, or we're supplying people just anything. It's not directly like airsoft, like modern airsoft, or AR-15, which is Airsoft Revolution 15. It's not just airsoft. It's not directly to something. Like if it was a firearms business, it's not like a Colt revolver, or Sig Sauer, as in like a Sig Sauer. I want to say P226 or P223. But it's not direct. So when we went to the office in the county, I forgot which county, where I live, where I used to live, we went to the court, and we went to go sign the papers and all that. And within, I want to say an hour, I got my name. I got my business name, Honorary Forged Supply. And this was when I started working at a retail associates department. I forgot the name of the work, but I was getting paid pretty well. So at the time, I used some of that money to go into the business. name. And then later throughout the time, I had to get an EIN number, and then I needed and that actually costed a lot. That actually costed $200. So the EIN costed $200. The name actually costed $19. And then I needed a tax ID. And the tax ID, it took like 2 days. I think it took 2 days, but this was way after I got the EIN and the business name. But when I got the EIN number, this was around the time I got the business name. So when I got the EIN number, we waited a while because I needed a Duns and Bradstreet number, or DNB. What basically this means is it's a number that shows and signifies that I am part of a corporation that sells this type of product. And this type of product allows me to sell directly to the customers of whoever that wants this type of product. So when I got the EIN, I was pretty grateful. I was pretty happy because from what my dad always says is that when you have a business, as soon as it starts, it's like having a baby. You gotta feed it and grow it. So yeah, it's literally like how you just said it. Like, I'm basically feeding it. So not only I got its name, I'm feeding it an EIN number. So now it's growing. And then a couple months later, I got the tax ID. And the tax ID, feed it into it, it grows. And then I got the DNB, or Duns and Bradstreet, and then it's even growing even more. And now I have a website for it. So it's even bigger. So it's a long process if you want to start a business. Mine took a while, but it took within a year. For my dad, it took him a little longer than what it took me. But that's just because I have him to help me. He's been an entrepreneur for a long time. I have been an entrepreneur for about a year. Sorry about that. I'm pretty thirsty. But so yeah, that's the story of how I grew my business. And that's how it started. So we are planning to do another business. Like I said in the very beginning, I want to do a business that allows me to sell firearms. But I want to be a dealer, not just any dealer. I want to be a dealer that sells and manufactures firearms and ammunition. And at one point in the future, I want to be a collector, which is a Type 3 FFL. Type 3 FFL is a collector's ID or license that allows me to purchase types of, in a certain type of era of before 1970 or 1960, that it has to be worth quite a bit. And if I keep it, I can then resell it for even more. But I have to keep it for a certain amount of time and then resell it. But the only thing with collectors is that you cannot shoot. I believe. You can count me wrong. Just don't count my word for it. But I believe you can't shoot the gun when you buy them, because that's the collector's ID. But when you're a dealer, you can shoot them. Also, when I wanted to do the firearms business industry, I wanted to have a brick and mortar nearby where I live. And I live in a town right now at the moment. So I wanted to have a firearms business around here because there's really not too many. I do live in Texas, where there is a ton of firearm industries. But I wanted to be one of the youngest firearm distributors around here. around where I live. Um, so yeah, that is basically it of my story. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. If you want, leave a like. If you want, also it's free. You know, if you want to, subscribe. If you don't want to, you don't want to. But please, if you want to, visit our store. Link in the description down below, and that is all. So have a good day, all you airsoft fanatics and firearms enthusiasts.